Welcome to Outside Views. Today we're talking about one of the darkest, most absurd chapters of modern medicine. The global scandal of giving puberty blockers to children. Not just in one country, not just in a few rogue clinics, but all over the so-called developed world. Sold under the banner of kindness and tolerance. Sold as saving lives. When in reality, it harmed vulnerable children on a massive scale. And let me be absolutely clear from the start. Puberty blockers for so-called trans kids must be banned everywhere, without exception, without hesitation, without apology. Because children cannot consent to irreversible medical experiments, because feelings are not a diagnosis, because protecting children sometimes means saying no to fashionable ideologies. And even when saying no is unpopular. But let's start with the basics. What are puberty blockers? They are gonadotropin releasing hormone analogs. I know, sounds hard. Powerful drugs originally developed to stop puberty in children with a serious disorder called precocious puberty, or to suppress hormones in adults fighting certain types of cancer. That's what they were developed for. That's what they were licensed for. And that's where the evidence exists. They were never designed, never tested, never licensed for stopping healthy, natural puberty in confused teenagers. That use was forced into practice without proper trials, without safety data, without long-term studies. It was driven by ideology, not science. And the story sold to the public? It was pure marketing genius. We're just pressing pause. We're just giving kids time to think. We are preventing suicide. And every single one of those claims was false. Because puberty is not a video game. You cannot just hit pause and expect everything to resume normally years later. Puberty is a biological one-way process. It is crucial for brain development, for bone density, for sexual maturation, for the emotional and psychological integration of the person. If you block puberty, you do not simply delay it, you derail it. And no, it is not reversible. That was a myth, a lie, a convenient fiction to make a disastrous practice seem harmless. And studies now show real, measurable harms. Bone density loss, brain development disruption, sexual dysfunction, mental health impacts. And most kids who go on blockers continue straight to cross-sex hormones and surgeries. It is not a pause, it's a pipeline. And for example, the United Kingdom finally said enough. NHS England banned the routine use of puberty blockers for gender dysphoria indefinitely. Because after reviews by NICE, the CAS review and the Commission on Human Medicines, there was no good evidence they were safe. No good evidence they were effective. But there was mounting evidence they could cause serious, permanent harm. The CAS review found an unsafe prescribing environment. Private clinics handing out blockers after online surveys. Kids getting powerful drugs after 10-minute video calls. No full psychological evaluations. No real screening for other mental health issues. Just a rush to medicalize emotional struggles. The government acted. They prioritized patient safety. They did what any ethical society should have done from the beginning. And let's not pretend this is only a UK problem. In the United States, the so-called gender clinics have multiplied unchecked. In Canada, questioning a child's self-diagnosis is increasingly taboo. In Australia, kids were pushed onto medical pathways without thorough oversight. And across Europe, the truth was hidden behind fear of being labeled transphobic. until finally countries like Sweden, Finland, Norway and France started to reverse course. Because reality wins eventually. But how many young lives were already permanently altered before anyone was willing to stand up? How many teenagers who might simply have been gay or awkward or traumatized were instead sterilized and medicalized before they even finished growing? And let me say it plainly. Children cannot consent to these interventions. Children cannot grasp the lifelong consequences. Children deserve protection, not experimental drugs, not irreversible procedures, not trendy ideologies. They deserve time, they deserve space, they deserve real support, not medicalization of adolescents. The NHS is now creating new clinics focused on actual mental health support, with multidisciplinary teams, with cautious evidence-based care. They are also setting up real scientific studies to investigate the effects of puberty blockers properly, at long last. Because handing out experimental treatments without good data was never defensible. It was a malpractice dressed up as compassion. Banning puberty blockers for gender dysphoria isn't controversial. It's necessary. It's urgent. It's basic human decency. Children are not test subjects for political experiments. Protecting them is not hatred. It's love. It's responsibility. It's sanity. And that's why I say thank you for watching Outside Views, where truth still matters more than trends, where protecting kids is not negotiable, where we say no to sacrificing young lives for ideology. So please subscribe, stay strong, stay sane, and keep fighting for a world where children grow up free, where children grow up whole, where children grow up unharmed. And if you want to see another video, the next one is right here in the end screen.